Hey you! Yeah, you! If you're making these 3 mistakes, then you've probably never picked up an instrument, and it shows. These mistakes are ruining your music, but the good news are, they're really easy to fix once you know what to look for, so pay attention. I've been playing guitar for about 8 to 9 years now, and when I started producing, I noticed something immediately. There were certain mistakes I'd never make because playing an instrument taught me what sounds good versus what sounds terrible. But I hear these mistakes everywhere, in beginners' tracks, and even in some big artist music. And every time I can tell instantly this person has never touched an instrument. They're working purely in MIDI, with no physical understanding of how music actually works. First mistake. Your MIDI notes are either way too short or way too long. And I'm not talking about artistic choice here. When notes are too short, they barely register. They sound like blips instead of melody. It's like trying to deliver an important message while mumbling. Nobody can understand what you're trying to say. The melody becomes incoherent. When they're too long, it lacks rhythm and snappiness. It sounds slow, weak, amateur. Like watching a beginner carefully play each note on an instrument, you can feel the lack of confidence and experience. Playing an instrument teaches you naturally how long notes should sustain. You learn that some notes need to breathe, others need to snap. It becomes instinct, not guesswork. Second mistake, and this one drives me crazy, using the wrong parts of vocals for your vocal chops. I hear producers, even some big names, chopping up consonants like ts, sh, and ch sounds. Those aren't musical, they're just a harsh noise without any pitch. It's like trying to play a guitar solo using only the sound of your pick scraping against the strings. Technically, you're making sound, but it's not music. The musical parts of vocals are the vowels, a, e, o, and u. These carry pitch, tone, emotion. If vocal chops were an instrument, using consonants would be like playing piano with your elbows, awkward and terrible. When you play an instrument, you learn immediately what produces musical tone versus just noise. But if you've never played, you might not hear the difference. Third mistake. Pitching vocals down or up way too much. Just because your DAW lets you pitch something down 24 semitones doesn't mean you should. When vocals sound like an incoherent demon mumbling from the depths of hell or a screeching chipmunk, you've gone too far. It needs to be audible, understandable, musical. It's like tuning your guitar strings so low they're just flapping around. Sure, it makes sound, but it's not usable. Playing guitar taught me this immediately. There's a reason we don't tune our strings down infinitely. At some point it stops being musical and becomes noise. Same principle applies to vocal pitching.
There's a fire reaching a fever pitch and it's bringing me out the dark.
All 3 mistakes come from the same root problem: lack of physical musical experience. When you've never played an instrument, you're missing that intuitive understanding of what works and what doesn't. It's not about rules you can memorize. It's about developing that inner sense of this sounds good versus this sounds wrong. And that only comes from years of physically making music. When I learned guitar, I didn't just learn chords and scales. I learned why certain things sound terrible, like trying to play chords too high up the neck where the tension makes them sound thin and wrong. These lessons translate directly to production. And here's the thing, you don't need to become a virtuoso, but spending even a few months seriously learning an instrument will transform your production forever. You'll stop making these basic mistakes because you'll feel when something's wrong. Your MIDI will have natural phrasing, your vocal chops will be musical, your pitching will stay in the usable range. It's the difference between speaking a language fluently versus using Google Translate. One flows naturally, the other is technically correct but obviously wrong. But here's the thing, even if you master an instrument and become a production wizard, there's something actually way more important that will determine whether you make it. So if you want to know what I'm talking about, then hit subscribe. Because in the next video, I'm revealing why success will destroy you if you're not ready. And I'm not just talking about music skills.